Have you ever touched something hot, like a pan on the stove or a cup of tea, and noticed that your body didn't respond right away? That instead of pulling your hand back instantly like you used to, there was a strange pause? Or maybe you stubbed your toe, but the pain didn't register until moments later. It's easy to brush this off as just getting older. But what if that delay is your body's quiet way of saying something isn't working like it should? As we age, many changes happen inside our bodies, and not all of them are visible on the outside. One of the most important systems that quietly supports our ability to move, feel, think, and react is our nervous system. And when it starts to slow down, the effects can be subtle at first, like reacting more slowly to pain, heat, or touch. But over time, these small changes can signal deeper issues such as nerve deterioration, poor communication between your brain and your body, or even early signs of serious neurological decline. But here's the good news. Your body is always sending you clues, and if you know what to look for, you can take action early to protect your nervous system and even improve it. In today's video, we'll walk through 7 powerful signs that your nerves may be weakening, especially if you're over 60. We'll also share simple, science-backed ways to keep your nervous system strong and responsive, so you can stay active, independent, and mentally sharp for years to come. Whether you're concerned about a recent change in how you feel pain, or just want to make sure you're doing everything you can to stay sharp and steady, this video is for you, so don't go anywhere. This could be one of the most important health topics you hear this year. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1, you don't feel pain right away anymore. A few months ago, Mr. Gerald, a retired school principal in his late 70s, was cooking breakfast for his grandchildren. As he reached across the stove to grab a pot, his wrist accidentally touched the edge of a hot skillet. Surprisingly, he didn't flinch. He didn't feel anything at first. It wasn't until a few seconds later, when he smelled something slightly burning and looked down, that he noticed the skin on his wrist was red and beginning to blister. That's when the pain finally arrived. "It was the strangest thing," he later said. "Back in my younger days, I would have jumped back in a split second. But now it's like the pain took its sweet time getting to me." Stories like Mr. Gerald's are more common than many people realize, especially among those over the age of 60. A slow reaction to pain isn't just frustrating, it can be dangerous. It might cause you to overlook minor injuries, react too late to protect yourself, or even misjudge the seriousness of something like a burn, cut, or bump. But more importantly, it may be one of the earliest signs that your nervous system, specifically your peripheral nerves, are starting to weaken. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Throughout our bodies, we have a vast network of nerves that act like messengers. When something hurts, tiny sensors in our skin send signals through these nerves to the brain, which then processes the information and tells us how to react. But as we age, these nerve fibers can become damaged or slow down. Just like an old telephone wire can lose clarity over time, our nerves might start to misfire, get blocked, or transmit signals at a reduced speed. This is especially common in people with conditions like diabetes, vitamin B12 deficiency, or those who have experienced long-term inflammation. The nerves responsible for sensing pain and temperature, called sensory nerves, are often among the first to show signs of aging. If these nerves are damaged or dulled, they don't carry messages to the brain as quickly as they used to. That's why someone like Mr. Gerald can touch a hot pan and not feel the burn until moments later. The delay might only be a few seconds, but when it comes to protecting ourselves from harm, those seconds matter. You might be wondering, is this normal? And the answer is, it's common, but not something to ignore. The earlier you recognize changes in how you feel pain, the more opportunity you have to take action and support your nerve health. One helpful habit is to be extra mindful when doing everyday tasks that involve potential pain risks, like cooking, gardening, or using sharp tools. Check your hands and feet regularly for any unnoticed cuts, blisters, or bruises, especially if you live with diabetes or circulation issues. Diet and nutrition also play a huge role in nerve health. Ensuring you get enough vitamin B12, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants can help protect your nerves from further decline. Leafy greens, walnuts, flax seeds, and fatty fish like salmon are excellent choices. Physical activity, particularly gentle stretching and walking, can improve blood flow to the nerves and encourage healing. And of course, staying hydrated and limiting alcohol can prevent additional nerve damage. Most importantly, speak to your healthcare provider if you've noticed changes in your pain response. A nerve conduction study or blood work might reveal an underlying issue like neuropathy or a deficiency. The good news is that many nerve-related issues can be managed, improved, or even reversed with the right lifestyle and treatment choices. Think of your nervous system as your body's electrical wiring. Over time, the wires can fray and the signals can slow. But with the right attention and care, you can restore the connection. So if you've noticed that pain seems to take a bit longer to reach you, don't brush it off as just aging. See it as your body giving you a helpful nudge to check in, to nourish your system, and to protect the incredible network that keeps you moving, sensing, and reacting to the world around you. Have you ever had a moment like Mr. Gerald's, where you touched something hot or bumped into something but didn't feel it right away? How did it make you feel? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Now let's look at another sign that may indicate your nervous system is weakening. How often are you losing your balance lately? Number 2, you're losing your balance. More often a few years ago, Mrs. Eleanor, a 74-year-old retired librarian, began to notice something troubling. She'd always prided herself on her graceful posture and steady steps, often walking through her garden with ease and tending to her flowers without worry. But lately, things had changed. One afternoon, while reaching for a pot of basil near her porch, she suddenly stumbled sideways. There was no rock, no uneven ground, just a strange sense that her body didn't know exactly where it was. A week later, it happened again while stepping off a curb, and once more in the kitchen, when turning too quickly. "I don't understand it," she told her daughter. "I didn't trip on anything. My legs just didn't respond the way they used to." Incidents like these are more than just clumsy moments. They can be red flags that something deeper is happening with the nervous system. Balance isn't just about strong legs or good shoes. It's a complex process that depends heavily on the communication between your brain, your inner ear, your muscles, and, most importantly, your nerves. When even one part of that system starts to decline, the effects can be felt as sudden wobbles, unexpected sways, or that uncomfortable feeling like the ground is moving beneath you when it's not. The nervous system plays a major role in keeping us upright. Sensory nerves in your feet tell your brain where your body is in space. Your brainstem processes this information and sends signals to your muscles, telling them how to adjust in real time. But when nerves are damaged or slow, whether from aging, diabetes, poor circulation, or past injuries, this delicate system doesn't work as smoothly. The result? You may start feeling off balance, especially when walking in the dark, turning quickly, or standing for long periods. In older adults, the weakening of proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position, can sneak up quietly. You may begin to notice you're bumping into door frames more often, feeling unsteady when you step into the shower, or hesitating before climbing stairs. Some people even report that it feels like their legs are responding a moment too late, especially when changing direction or catching their footing. It's not necessarily about strength, it's about timing and awareness. This is why falling is one of the greatest health risks for seniors. Not because we aren't careful, but because the very system designed to keep us upright is becoming slower and less reliable. But here's the hopeful part. Your nervous system is like a muscle. It may weaken over time, but with the right attention and training, many functions can be maintained or even improved. If you've been feeling more unsteady lately, don't ignore it. Start by observing your daily habits. Do you lose balance when getting out of bed? Do you need to grab onto walls when walking through your home? These may be signs that your nerves aren't providing accurate or fast enough feedback to your brain. Try simple balance exercises like standing on one foot near a wall or walking heel to toe in a straight line. Gentle practices like Tai Chi and yoga have also been shown to improve balance and strengthen the mind-body connection. Nourishing your nerves with a healthy diet is equally important. Foods rich in B vitamins, magnesium, and omega-3s can help rebuild and protect nerve tissue. Stay hydrated and avoid alcohol and tobacco, both of which can accelerate nerve damage. And make sure your vision and hearing are regularly checked, since they're also part of the balance equation. Of course, if you're experiencing frequent falls or sudden dizziness, it's essential to talk to your doctor. They can help determine whether the cause is neurological, inner ear related, or tied to another condition. Early detection is key to preventing more serious injuries. Mrs. Eleanor eventually began a gentle exercise routine focused on balance and flexibility. She also added more leafy greens, walnuts, and salmon to her meals, and began working with a physical therapist once a week. Within a few months, she wasn't just walking more confidently, she was planting tulips again, without fear of falling. "I may not move like I did when I was 30, she smiled, "but I know where my feet are now, and that gives me peace of mind." So if you've noticed yourself wobbling more than usual, it might be time to listen to your nerves. They're whispering that they need a little more care. And the sooner you respond, the more secure you'll feel, on your feet and in your daily life. Now let's explore another quiet signal from your nervous system. Have you ever felt strange tingling or numbness in your hands or feet, as if they've fallen asleep without warning? Number 3, you notice tingling or numbness in your hands or feet. Mr. Thomas, a 69-year-old retired mechanic, first noticed something odd one morning while tying his shoes. He realized he couldn't quite feel the laces under his fingers, as if they were wrapped in a thin layer of cotton. At first he thought maybe he'd slept on his arm wrong, but then, later that day, while walking barefoot in his kitchen, he felt as though he were stepping on invisible pebbles. There were no crumbs, no small objects, just an odd, persistent tingling, as if his feet were buzzing. Over the next few weeks, the sensations returned more frequently, along with occasional numbness that made it harder for him to grip his coffee mug or walk confidently across the room. If you've ever felt something similar, tingling, numbness, or that classic pins and needles sensation in your hands or feet, you may be experiencing a sign of nerve dysfunction, particularly in the peripheral nervous system. These symptoms are often early indicators of peripheral neuropathy, a condition where the small nerves in your limbs become damaged or begin to malfunction. Our peripheral nerves are responsible for carrying signals between our brain, spinal cord, and the rest of our body, especially our hands and feet. They help us feel temperature, pressure, texture, and pain. But when these nerves are compromised, they may send faulty signals, exaggerated sensations, or no signals at all. The result can be burning, tingling, numbness, or even sharp shooting pains, especially during the night when circulation slows and our attention is heightened. This kind of nerve damage can happen for many reasons, but in older adults, it is most commonly linked to diabetes, vitamin deficiencies, particularly B12, poor circulation, or prolonged inflammation in the body. Sometimes medications such as chemotherapy drugs or long-term use of certain antibiotics can also contribute to nerve sensitivity or damage. The danger with numbness or tingling in your extremities isn't just the discomfort, it's the loss of protective sensation. If you can't fully feel your hands or feet, you might not notice when you've cut yourself, stepped on something sharp, or even burned your skin. This puts you at greater risk of infection, falls, and long-term injury. And unfortunately, many people chalk these symptoms up to just getting older, missing the opportunity to address the issue before it gets worse. But there's good news. Your nerves can be supported and even improved with the right care. The first step is paying attention to these signals. Don't ignore that strange tingling in your fingers or that patch of numbness in your toes. Keep a journal if you need to. Write down when the symptoms appear, how long they last, and what you were doing at the time. Then bring that information to your healthcare provider. A simple blood test could reveal a correctable issue like low B12, while a nerve conduction study can help identify areas of damage. At home, there are several lifestyle changes you can make that will support nerve function. Start with your diet. Focus on foods rich in vitamin B12 like eggs, dairy, salmon, and fortified cereals. Add leafy greens, avocados, and nuts for their healthy fats and antioxidants. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, Work closely with your doctor to keep your blood sugar levels in a safe range, as excess glucose in the bloodstream is one of the most damaging forces to nerve tissue. Gentle physical activity can also help, particularly movements that promote circulation. Try ankle rolls, stretching your toes, walking daily, or using a soft massage roller on your feet and hands. Not only does this improve blood flow, but it also stimulates nerve endings and helps keep sensation active. Mr. Thomas eventually visited his doctor and discovered he had a borderline B12 deficiency along with pre-diabetic glucose levels. With the support of his care team, he started taking supplements, adjusted his diet, and began walking 20 minutes a day around his neighborhood. Within a few months, the tingling lessened, and he felt more in control of his body again. "I thought it was just part of getting old," he said, "but it turns out my nerves were trying to tell me something, and I'm glad I listened." So if your hands or feet have been feeling off, don't dismiss it. Your body is incredibly wise and always communicating. Tingling and numbness are not just random annoyances. They are invitations to pause, check in, and care for your nervous system with the respect it deserves. Up next, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: how forgetfulness and confusion can be connected to nerve health, and what it means for your aging brain. Number 4, you're becoming more forgetful or confused. For many years, Mrs. Carolyn, a bright and spirited 72-year-old retired piano teacher, had a morning ritual she loved: completing the crossword puzzle in her local newspaper with a hot cup of tea by her side. It was her quiet time, a mental warm-up for the day. But lately something had changed. One morning, as she stared at the partially filled puzzle, she found herself stuck on a clue that she knew she should know. It was a word she used to teach her students all the time, but her mind just couldn't retrieve it. Later that week, she walked into the kitchen and forgot why she was there. "It's probably just old age," she told her son with a shrug. "My brain's just being stubborn." While occasional forgetfulness is indeed a common part of aging, when memory lapses start happening more frequently or confusion appears in moments that used to feel clear and routine, it may be a sign that your nervous system, specifically your brain and its communication pathways, are beginning to slow down. Your brain is made up of billions of nerve cells or neurons that work like a lightning-fast web to process, store, and retrieve information. But just like our joints and muscles, these neurons can lose efficiency over time. The process of aging naturally affects the speed at which neurons communicate. The protective myelin sheath that insulates nerve fibers can wear down, leading to slower signal transmission. The number of active neurons may also decrease, and brain volume can shrink slightly in certain areas like the hippocampus, which is closely tied to memory and learning. When this happens, it might feel harder to recall names, find the right words, or keep track of a conversation. Some people even describe it as mental fog, or feeling like they're thinking through molasses. What's important to understand is that memory is not just about storage. It's also about retrieval, attention, and emotional connection. And all of these processes rely on a healthy and responsive nervous system. When your nerves are not firing as sharply, or your brain isn't receiving or sending signals efficiently, small lapses in memory or moments of confusion may begin to show up in daily life. These can range from misplacing items, repeating stories, or needing more time to follow a set of instructions. But here's the good news. Your brain is adaptable. It's called neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to form new connections, strengthen existing ones, and even regenerate pathways with the right kind of stimulation. You don't have to accept a slow mental decline as inevitable. In fact, some of the most powerful tools for maintaining and improving brain health are already at your fingertips. Start by making mental activity a daily habit. Whether it's doing puzzles like Caroline's crossword, learning a few words in a new language, playing music, or simply having thoughtful conversations, each of these actions keeps your neural pathways engaged. Staying socially connected is also vital. Loneliness and isolation have been shown to increase the risk of cognitive decline. Your diet also plays a crucial role in brain function. Omega-3 fatty acids from sources like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds help build cell membranes in the brain and reduce inflammation. Antioxidant-rich foods like berries, leafy greens, and dark chocolate support healthy blood flow to the brain and help protect neurons from damage. And don't forget hydration. Your brain is 75% water, and even mild dehydration can lead to mental fatigue. Exercise is just as beneficial for your mind as it is for your muscles. Physical movement increases blood circulation, including to the brain, and encourages the release of chemicals that support neuron growth and repair. Even a daily walk can work wonders for your memory, mood, and clarity. After her experiences with forgetfulness, Mrs. Caroline didn't panic, but she did take it as a sign to act. She began incorporating more brain foods into her diet, started doing gentle yoga, and invited her neighbors for weekly game nights. She even signed up for an online class about classical music history, something she'd always wanted to learn more about. A few months later, she found herself breezing through her crossword puzzles again, and more importantly, feeling confident and mentally present in her daily life. So if you've been forgetting things more often, or finding it harder to focus or recall familiar information, don't ignore those moments. They're not just about memory, they're messages from your nervous system, reminding you to nourish your brain with activity, connection, movement, and care. Next, we'll explore another subtle but serious sign of nerve decline. What happens when your reflexes slow down, and how a delayed reaction can become a risk in everyday life. Number 5. You react slowly to sudden events. Mr. Leonard, a vibrant 76-year-old who prided himself on staying independent, was carrying his groceries one afternoon when a bag slipped from his hands and tumbled to the ground. A bottle rolled off the sidewalk, and instinctively, he reached out to catch it. But by the time his hand moved, it was already too late. The bottle shattered. He stood there for a moment, stunned, not just by the broken glass, but by how long it took for his body to respond. A week later, something similar happened while walking in the park. A dog darted across his path, and although he saw it coming, his legs didn't move quickly enough to step aside. He stumbled, caught himself, but couldn't shake the unsettling feeling. "It's like my brain and my body were out of sync," he told his daughter. "I saw it coming, but I couldn't react in time." This type of delayed reaction is more than just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Whether it's catching yourself before a fall, slamming on the brakes while driving, or simply responding to an unexpected obstacle, our ability to react quickly is one of the most important tools we have for staying safe, and that ability depends entirely on a healthy, responsive nervous system. Our reflexes, those rapid, automatic responses to sudden changes in our environment, are made possible by lightning-fast communication between our sensory nerves, spinal cord, and muscles. When we touch something hot, trip on a curb, or hear a loud noise, our brain processes the information almost instantly and sends instructions to our body to react. But as we age, this communication system can begin to slow. The nerve fibers that carry signals may degrade, the brain's processing speed may decline, and muscle response time can lag behind. Several factors contribute to this change. Natural aging affects reaction time, but so can medications, poor sleep, lack of physical activity, or even chronic inflammation in the body. If your reflexes seem slower than they used to be, it may not be just age. It may be a sign that your nervous system needs support and stimulation to keep firing effectively. Slowed reflexes often show up subtly. Maybe you fumble more often when dropping small items, hesitate longer before stepping off a curb, or feel like you're watching a moment unfold without being able to jump into action. These signs may appear during physical activity, but they can also show up in conversation or decision-making. Some people report feeling like they're a step behind in fast-moving situations, or that they need more time to react to unexpected questions or sudden changes. Fortunately, the nervous system is trainable. Like a muscle, it can be strengthened with regular, focused use. Exercises that challenge your coordination and speed, such as tossing a ball back and forth, practicing balance drills, or using reaction lights or apps, can help sharpen reflexes. Even playing ping pong, dancing, or gardening can re-engage your brain-body connection in meaningful ways. The key is consistency and enjoyment. Cognitive stimulation also matters. Reading, playing music, solving puzzles, or learning new skills helps keep the brain active and adaptive, which in turn improves response time. Nutrition plays a supporting role too. Antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, Omega-3 fats from fish and nuts, and proper hydration all contribute to the health and flexibility of your nerve pathways. Mr. Leonard decided not to ignore the signs. He added a 15-minute morning routine that included light stretches, balance work, and tossing a small ball against the wall to improve his hand-eye coordination. He began cutting back on processed foods, added blueberries and walnuts to his diet, and started taking short, brisk walks in the afternoon. It didn't happen overnight, he said, but after a few weeks I noticed I could catch my keys again, and I didn't freeze when something surprised me. So if you felt like your reflexes have slowed, or that you're just not reacting as fast as you used to, take that as a message. Your nervous system is telling you it's ready for a little wake-up call. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment or intense training. Just small, regular actions that keep your brain and body working together, alert and in tune. Up next, we'll look at another signal from your nerves, this time related to your muscles. Have you noticed more weakness, shakiness, or strange twitching lately? Your nervous system could be trying to get your attention in a different way. Number 6, you feel muscle weakness or twitching every Saturday morning. Mr. Henry, age 71, liked to visit the local farmer's market. He had a tradition of buying fresh produce and carrying 2 full bags home, one in each hand. But recently he started to notice something troubling. His grip would give out halfway home, and he found himself needing to rest more often. One day, while reaching for a jar of pickles in the kitchen, his arm suddenly twitched. It wasn't painful, just a strange, involuntary spasm that made him pause. At first he laughed it off. "Old muscles doing a little dance," he joked. But when it kept happening, especially at night, in his legs and fingers, he began to wonder if something deeper was going on. Muscle weakness and twitching are among the most visible ways your nervous system may be sending a cry for help. Our muscles don't act on their own. They rely entirely on healthy, functioning nerves to tell them when and how to move. When that communication is disrupted, either by nerve damage or slowed signal transmission, your muscles might not respond as strongly, as quickly, or as smoothly as they used to. There are 2 types of nerves that play a role here. Motor nerves, which carry commands from your brain to your muscles, and sensory nerves, which send feedback from your muscles back to the brain. When motor nerves are weakened, the instructions they send to your muscles can become delayed, jumbled, or fail to reach their destination altogether. This can lead to everything from reduced strength, poor coordination, to those random twitching sensations you might feel when your muscles fire on their own without instruction. As we age, natural wear and tear on the nervous system, along with other health factors like diabetes, vitamin deficiencies, chronic inflammation, or sedentary lifestyle, can damage motor neurons or interfere with the pathways that help our muscles work efficiently. Even mild dehydration or imbalances in electrolytes like magnesium, calcium, or potassium can lead to frequent twitching or cramps. Muscle twitching, known as fasciculations, is often harmless, but when it becomes more frequent or is paired with noticeable weakness, like trouble opening jars, carrying groceries, or standing from a chair, it may be time to pay closer attention. This combination of symptoms could indicate that your nerves are no longer sending signals to your muscles with the strength or clarity they once did. In some cases, these signs may be early indicators of broader neurological conditions, but often they simply reflect a nervous system that needs better care, movement, and nourishment. So what can you do if you're noticing more weakness or twitching than usual? First, don't panic, but do take it seriously. Begin by observing when the symptoms occur. Do they happen more when you're tired, stressed, or dehydrated? Do certain foods or medications make them worse? Keeping a simple log can help you track patterns and share useful details with your doctor. From a lifestyle perspective, strength training, even gentle bodyweight movements, can make a remarkable difference. Exercises like wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, or light resistance band workouts help reestablish the connection between your nerves and muscles. These movements encourage your nervous system to stay active and responsive while building real-world strength for daily activities. Nutrition also plays a powerful role. Focus on foods high in magnesium, like leafy greens, almonds, and bananas, potassium, like sweet potatoes and oranges, and high-quality protein to support muscle recovery and nerve health. Stay hydrated throughout the day and reduce your intake of processed foods or excessive caffeine, which can worsen twitching in some people. B-complex vitamins, particularly B1, B6, and B12, are essential for nerve repair and muscle coordination. After a few visits to his doctor and a basic blood test, Mr. Henry discovered he was slightly low in magnesium and B12, both crucial for nerve and muscle function. He began supplementing under his doctor's guidance, added more green vegetables and salmon to his meals, and started doing simple strength exercises while watching TV in the evening. Within 2 months, he noticed fewer twitches, better grip strength, and most importantly, a renewed confidence in his body. "I feel like I've woken something up inside me," he shared with a smile. "My muscles are talking to me again, and this time, I'm listening." If your muscles feel weaker than they used to, or if strange twitches are becoming more common, don't brush it off as just a normal part of aging. Your nervous system may be signaling a need for attention, care, and connection. And the beautiful truth is, it's never too late to start rebuilding that connection, one small habit at a time. Now let's move to a sign that's often overlooked, but just as important: how your body responds to temperature. Are you feeling more sensitive to heat or cold than before? Your nerves might have something to say about that too. So now that we've walked through 7 important signs that your nervous system may be slowing down, from delayed pain reactions to balance issues, muscle weakness, memory fog, and temperature sensitivity, it's clear that these aren't just random inconveniences. They're messages from your body, gentle warnings that your nerve health may need attention. And the good news is, it's never too late to listen, take action, and make changes that can protect and even rejuvenate your nervous system. Your nerves are like the communication cables of your entire body. They help you think, move, feel, and react. When those signals slow or break down, life becomes harder, not just physically, but emotionally too. But with the right support, your nervous system can become more resilient. Small steps really do make a difference. Eating a diet full of leafy greens, nuts, berries, and omega-3 rich fish gives your nerves the nutrients they need to repair and thrive. Staying physically active, even just a daily walk or gentle stretching, helps maintain blood flow and encourages neural activity. And keeping your mind engaged through conversation, learning, and creativity helps your brain stay flexible and strong. It's also important to get regular checkups, especially if you've noticed some of the signs we've talked about. A simple blood test might reveal something correctable, like a vitamin deficiency or blood sugar imbalance. And if you're already managing a condition like diabetes, now is the perfect time to double down on your care routine and give your nerves the extra support they deserve. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean losing control or independence. With awareness, consistency, and a little encouragement, you can support your nervous system so that it supports you today, tomorrow, and for many more years ahead. You are not helpless. You are capable, and your body even now is eager to heal and function at its best with the right care. So take a moment today to check in with yourself. What is your body trying to tell you? Which sign resonated most with your experience? And what's one small change you can make, starting today, to protect your nerve health? You have more power than you think, and your journey toward better health can start with just one step. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you found this video helpful, hopeful, and full of practical insights. And remember, your nervous system isn't giving up on you. It's simply asking you to pay attention. Let's keep growing, learning, and living fully, one healthy nerve at a time. Until next time, stay well and stay strong. Thanks for being here today. We hope this video gave you something useful or meaningful to take away. If it did, please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We share new content each week focused on healthy aging, wellness, and practical advice for living well. Tap the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. We're glad to have you with us. See you next time.